Hi, everybody. Margot Levette here. Well, it is September the 30th. And Womel and Wom Lead Magazine, Nagalia, Des Ravines, and myself, we have been celebrating podcasters the total month of September. And today we are going to replay all of those podcasts, all those conversations that we had with the fabulous podcasters that are housed over on heypodcasters.com website. Today is International Podcast Day, and it started 7 years ago with Steve and Dave Lee. So we're continuing with what they started, making it a global celebration, sharing with everyone the conversations that we've had with people on the platform. Let me tell you, I bow down and give strong kudos to Nagalia and her staff because she is a businesswoman. She teaches entrepreneurship. She teaches and raises small business owners to a level that they never thought that they would rise up to. She's not a podcaster, but she came to me, who is a podcaster and a podcast instructor, and she thought it would be a good idea to salute podcasters. So she not only thought about it, she made podcasting a part of the September issue of Wom Lead Magazine, and she broke tradition. She let some men, Evo Terra, Chris Cremotsos, and Dave Lee be on the cover of Wom Lead Magazine. So September is quite a monumental month for Wom Lead. So I thank you, a million thank yous, Nagalia, for capturing the vision and moving forward with podcasting because, my goodness, it's such a vibrant and valuable industry. I'm not going to get started on that. You guys know how I feel about podcasting, but Nagalia and her staff took it a lot deeper than just opening up the magazine. Do you know? Heypodcasters.com is her brainchild. She built that website out so that podcasters could put their podcasts over there and we can all connect. It is a wonderful place where you can discover podcasts from all categories, business and society and culture. Oh my goodness, we're going to do a walkabout in a minute because today is International Podcast Day. I want to show you how to find your way over to heypodcasters.com so that you are able to make sure that when we tell you, hey, we're running you over there so that you can hear the conversation with Dave Lee or Taylor Ferber, you know exactly where to go. So let me stop talking and begin to share my screen. I think this is what we're looking for. Let me just see. No, I think that it's not. Let me go back out and find what I'm looking for. Let me get that up. In the meantime, Hey Podcasters is quite a phenomenal place to be. That's why I have to share and take you on over here. Make sure you see where to go because today is a day of celebration. And we are going to make sure, here we go. We are going to make sure that all of the podcasters that are over here on Hey Podcasters, that they get the exposure that they deserve and that you are introduced to what this marvelous platform is all about. So here we are on the homepage. All right. While you're here listening to the podcast, I want you to take a walk about. All right. All day, I'll be running you over 2 episodes. And this is where we house the conversations with the podcasters that are already over here, and they've connected their podcast to Hey Podcasters. I want you to pay attention to how many views these podcasts have already garnered from being over here. So on the way scrolling down to the podcasters, when you get a chance, pay attention to the deep dive conversation that I had with Nagalia, and it gives you insight from the brainchild as to why Hey Podcasters is even here. All right. Nothing like hearing from the person who had the vision. All right. And I told you that Hey Podcasters is a podcast now. Yes, you can listen to podcast episodes over on Apple, over on Spotify, over on Google Podcast. So be sure to go over there, especially over on Apple. Be sure to leave a review. Okay. So concerning the rest of the day, you're over here on heypodcasters.com. I'm always going to ask you to scroll down and be sure to hit the graphic. All right. As you can see, we have Evo Terra, the high priest of podcasting, Mary Fernandez, who's talking about leadership, legacies, and legends. Girls Ask Guys show. That's John Newport and Ashley Sanders. Not your mama's kind of relationship show. And then we have Dr. Elo. Oh my goodness, he's all about live streaming, and that's where everything is headed if it's not there right now. All right. Dave Lee, waves of technology, waves of tech. And let's talk about fatherhood. These are two gentlemen from Chicago, Illinois. They created a nonprofit. Plus, their episodes are all about fatherhood. Very important conversations going on over there. Then we have Chris Cremosos, who we know from Podfest. We have Larry Robert, oh my goodness, fascinating gent, who also teaches podcasting. And then we have, what can I say? The Queen Mother. I'll just say Dashanaba King from the Kings of Alabama, but now she is Queen Mother. She's telling us how to be an expatriate there in Africa, and she tells us about being a Queen Mother. Very interesting conversation. Then a lady who's shown up at the Oscar parties, at the Emmys. She's been behind the velvet rope. She now takes us on to another train of thought as far as politics and all of that hoopla that goes on in Hollywood. I love Taylor Ferber's show. I really, really do. And then we got some folks from Canada. It's September, and Cheryl and Clove. And then we have Mary. They're here. They're sharing information as far as September goes, media tips and insights from podcasters and sponsors. That's what we talked about. Podcasting Canadian style, Shirley and Clove, husband and wife team. And then we have Mary, who's a podcaster's guide to visible voice. She comes from terrestrial radio and tells us all about voiceovers and that type of thing. And then if you want to really grow your business and on a global scale, we're talking about Africa, we're talking about the UK, and I know France. Then our conversation with Coach Janine is, you definitely want to pay attention to that. I'm going to introduce you to all of those episodes, most definitely, as we march through International Podcast Day. But I'm asking you to start out because we are kicking things off here with our conversation with Dave Lee. I'm asking everybody, before you go to Facebook or Google or wherever you want to listen to the podcast, come here to Hey Podcasters and hit the graphic. I want for two reasons. So let's be sure to hit the graphic. You'll see that it immediately takes you to that podcaster's podcast. All right. This is Dave Lee's Waves of Technology. Keep scrolling down because it's going to take you to our conversation, the conversation that was made specifically for Hey Podcasters. Notice two things. You can hit it, listen right here on the website, Hey Podcasters, or you can go over to YouTube. If you decide to go over to YouTube, be sure to leave your comments. Give us some feedback, all right? So I wanted to share the screen, just let you know how to get into Hey, podcasters, once you get in, where to go? Head on over the episodes. All right. Every hour, I'm going to run you over the episodes so that you can pay attention and take a listen to all of the podcasters that are listed below here. Now, as I said, I made mention of the magazine. Let's go on over here on the dashboard, the magazine. And as we open that up, it takes us on into WOM Lead magazine. You have access to Girls Ask Guys show with John and Ashley. That story is fascinating. They're featured in this episode, in this magazine, in this issue of this month's September issue of WOM Lead, as is the business coach, Coach Janine. Takes us back to the month-long celebration of podcasters. So there's a lot going on over here at Hey Podcasters. So I want you to take your time. I'm going to come out from the share. I want you to take your time so that you'll be sure to not miss anything concerning Hey Podcasters. Get in from the ground up. This website, this whole movement is less than 3 months old. And I tell you, get in from the ground up, because some big things are going on in behind the scenes. And you want to make sure that your podcast is associated with heypodcasters.com. All right. So welcome, wonderful International Podcast Day. I do want to draw your attention to one live stream that I'm going to be a part of today. And I'm going to have a conversation with Robin Tillotson. And she's a colleague of mine and a sister member of Women of Color, which is a group that we both belong to. Why am I making mention of this live stream? Because you know my passion for us boomers. I want everybody to understand that we ain't going nowhere, that we are vibrant, we are very much alive. And Robin and I pretty much have the same message. So she's going to jump on at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to live stream over on my LinkedIn page. Just go with Margot Levette, and it'll take you over to my profile. And at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, excuse me, we are going to have a live stream and talk about us being over 50 and some of the marvelous things we're doing. Excuse me, I get excited and very dry in my throat talking about these things, but I'm going to wrap it up. That's it. Happy International Podcast Day. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye now.